A last-minute decision from the Federal Aviation Administration will spare shutting down the air traffic control tower at Felts Field, at least for now. The FAA says it wants to take more time to decide how closing towers across the country could affect the public safety. KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey joins us live at Felts with reaction to the FAA announcement. Jeff.
Well, calling everybody here at Felts Field, from the 144 pilots who own hangars here to the lady who owns the Skyway Cafe, they're all very happy about this reprieve. If you know just a little bit about how important this airport is to our community, then you are probably already feeling that closing this tower was a bad idea. Tomorrow was supposed to be the last day that air traffic controllers would be landing planes here at Felts Field. Fortunately, the airport director knew the tower would be targeted by automatic spending cuts, and so he went to Washington in the hopes of getting Felts off the list.
So Larry Crowder, our director, spent a week in Washington and tried to get it reversed. When he couldn't, he filed a lawsuit, and since about at least 30 airports have hooked onto the lawsuit.
That lawsuit alleges the FAA violated its own procedures when not taking into account how aviation safety would be affected by closing the Felts Tower. Controllers at this busy general aviation airport guide dozens of planes over the tricky nearby terrain, not to mention watch over the medical and law enforcement helicopters that use this field every day. This is also where private planes share the same airspace with jets on their final approach for Fairchild and Spokane International. And without the Felts Tower helping to keep those aircraft separated, pilots say there could be some real safety problems.
It's a very bad scenario for just closing this tower. Now, if we were sitting down Walla Walla, Lewiston, it's a little different story because they're out in the middle of nowhere and there are no other airspaces involved. We have complicated airspaces involved. And we really need controllers more than a lot of these other more isolated airports.
Felts is also home to several businesses that rely on a tower-controlled airspace. Moody Aviation trains its missionaries to become bush pilots serving third world countries. The Skyway Cafe is a delicious destination for hundreds of private plane pilots every year.
I think that the government can cut something besides our safety.
Now the FAA has put off closing this and 148 other air traffic control towers until it can do a risk analysis at each of those fields. It takes about $450,000 a year to staff Felts Field's air traffic control tower, and that is a very small amount when you look at the FAA's overall budget. Reporting live at Felts Field, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.